Big up, big up, big up. This is Liverpool 12th Man. How you guys doing? I am doing a little bit of a Twitter take, as you can say it. This is basically what it is basically I am going to just, go through my Twitter feed and share my Twitter feed with you guys, people I follow, some of the people that I support, obviously. Also get a good take on, just what exactly is going on in the world that we call our community. So yeah, just going to go see what's going on with the peoples out there, and also impromptu style, broadcast. I know it's late in the UK. I know it's coming up on the evening hours here in America, but all the same, I figured I'd bring a little positivity, a little love into everything that we see and love today in our community. So let's see. I am going to hopefully look through to see what I have going on Twitter here. Let's see. And I'll just bring this up here. I also have something that's kind of cool today. I wanted to also get you guys kind of a concept or idea of like how you feel about some players that we've been able to have the graces of being a part of our team. If you're late on the broadcast or if you're early or whatever it is, be sure to just give me a, hey, this player is this or this player is that, in your opinion, all the same, So yeah, hopefully you'll be able to like give me a good read on like what it is that you feel it is. So let's do this. I am going to share my screen here. All right. Maybe not. Double check and see if I can make sure I can even do this. I can do it. There you go. All right. So, we're going to look at this. We're going to look at some things in the Twitterverse. And if you don't know, the reason why I have the Reds 12th Man on there is just because that's my Liverpool 12th Man. That's me. But the Reds 12th Man is the actual name that you would look up if you're trying to look up anything on there, on the Twitterverse at least, to find me. So let's see, things that are trending. This is what we're going to be going in and out of. Let's see. Klopp is trending. Mbappe is trending. Kimmich is trending. And so is Amrabat. There's some things that are trending in the universe right now, which is kind of interesting. Let's just hear what we're seeing on Klopp. How about that? Let's give it a little shout and look. So if you're in the chat or you're coming in the chat, be sure to say hello, give a prop, and I'll be sure to just make sure I give a shout back out too. We're looking at, this is a topic of today. How do you guys feel about what was being said with Fab, actually? Fabio Carvalho said on if received any advice from Klopp before his Leipzig loan. He said, I don't really speak to him, to be fair. He didn't really give me any advice. I just had to leave. I just had to learn as I go. And I feel that is better for me to mature anyway. Big up, Chris Angel. How do you feel about that? I saw this in my feed here, and I was like, kind of like, I get where he's coming from, as in like, he's asked a question and he answered it. But it was one of those things. It was one of those things where I saw it and I was like, kind of, I don't know if he's trying to be like a jerk or something along those lines or not, but that was kind of a little bit mean, I would say. It's an interesting take, I really don't know how I felt about that. I don't really think that he had to necessarily say anything or really do anything. I don't know how the chat's feeling about that, but I was kind of like rubbed a little wrong way. Look, brother, Cavallo, I know that it was offered that you'd be playing the 10 in the role that you played at Fulham, but realistically, we just didn't incorporate the 10 enough. And I just unfortunately didn't, I guess, no dig at all, but I guess the skill sets that you brought to the forefront as a 10 didn't necessarily move us to be forced to play a role with the 10 position. And that was just something that I saw on here, where that's at least how my take on it was when I saw that get indoctrinated into the feed here. How do you guys feel about that? If you want Tommy or not, it's cool or not. But I really did think that. It was very interesting to see. And today, what was kind of crazy is so I was on Box to Box with Savage and Ends, and a cool concept show that I want to actually continue to develop. And maybe hopefully you guys can help me out with developing. Bejan Pops especially, big up Bejan Pops, LFC in the house. There is some conceptions of some players that I wanted to kind of get a read on how you guys feel about some players that I believe are good players, but I wanted to see if you believe that they were, players that brought anything to our club, have brought any worth to our club or anything like that in the ratings. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that bit of knowledge and kind of like incorporate it into this next episode, because I'll give you the basic concept of what it was. Basically, when we were speaking, we were talking about, I think players sometimes, even though they might be bought, let's say you buy a player for $20 million, and you bring in that player and you get 5 years out of them. We get a couple of trophies, some silverware, and everything else, and that player then moves on, or that player then gets transferred, and we get an actual price back for him. Sometimes, even though that price might not be the same price or more than we actually paid for that player, you still got to conceptualize. It's almost as as an asset, in the sense of, what was the worth of that player when he was with the team? So we got into the conversation, and it really got me thinking, it'd be a really, really interesting show to have. So that's something that we're going to build up and everything else. But then it got me to thinking, when I started looking at the list, I compiled it, and it was something of an interesting take, is that it's a really interesting list of the players that Klopp has brought in since his tenure, and the players that have either left on transfers or left on frees. So we're going to save that for the back end of this Twitter Takes episode. But yeah, let me show you some things. So let me see. It says Chris Angel saying, "Oh, big up on. Appreciate that. Big up on the kit. I like it. I like representing Colombia always to the fullest." It is what it is. To be fair, he's a 10. We don't play with a 10 tactically. We were a mess last season, number-wise. He did his thing when called upon, which he did. He scored a great goal when he was called in in that match. I believe it was against Newcastle, I want to say. I think it was Newcastle. But, played well and did his thing and tried to do his best in taking in a lot of what he had to take in, to be honest with you. But yeah, I'd like to see Bejan Pops, who usually has a very enlightened take on it as well, what he felt about that whole comment. I think it was an unnecessary comment. It could be taken as a shot at him, from a young man that obviously has certain aspirations and certain beliefs of his own abilities, which is rightfully so. So let's see. Yeah. This is another thing that was kind of cool. Bring this down so I don't get. Was the Jurgen Klopp confirms that Dominic is his injury is nothing more than is nothing really, and that he'll be available for the next game. That's big. I agree. This is what Beijing Pops had to say, which is cool. He's saying he's still a kid and needs to mature, which hopefully will happen on loan. He's saying I don't read too much into it, which is agreed. I understand that I'm not reading too deeply into it, but it still rubs me a little bit the wrong way because he didn't necessarily have to say all the like. Well, it kind of made it feel like, oh, we're not on talking terms, and you know, and it is what it is. I'm gonna figure it out myself. So, you know, that's how at least I took it. But yeah, so it looks like the Dom injury isn't as bad as we thought it was, or a lot of people were fearing it could be. It was simply, from what I read, it was a twisted ankle, or he turned his ankle. He should be back. Klopp even went as far as to say if it was a premier game or if it was like a league game and we needed him to play, he could, you know, he probably just wrap it up and play, or tape it up and play. But, you know, considering that it's not, and it's preseason, you know, we ended up just allowing for what it was. It could be. And I agree with you. This is what Bejan had to say. The clip might also be taken out of context, so don't kill him on what he had to say. Agreed. I'm not going to necessarily, you know, throw him to the fire or something like that, I guess you could say. But yeah, you know, it is what it is. Let's move on to Kimmich here, because this is something that I addressed, and it'll segue very nicely into it all. So looks like Kimmich is a hot topic. I was speaking on this during the box-to-box little segue or a guest appearance I had, and why I thought it was kind of cool to talk about was, look, I would like to see Frankie de Jong. I would love to see this man right here as a Red. I know that some people have some differing opinions on whether he can actually play a good DM role for us. I disagree. I truly do believe that he'd play an adequate role in that position. But with that said, I also know that the man makes close to $320K a week. So it would obviously mean that you'd have to take a pay cut, most likely, because I don't think he'll be coming to the club and making $320K, considering we only have one player north of the 300 mark, which is Mo Salah. I think Kimmich is an exceptional player. I just know what it took to get Salah to that 300 threshold. I know how long it took for our club to really break that 300,000 threshold. So bringing in a player of his stature would be a very interesting to say the least. Now, it also gets to what you would be willing to, what would be the transfer price and what you think that would be as well. You know, that would be an interesting place of where it would be as well. I'm not certain as to whether I would pay. We probably would have to look at around anywhere from 70 M's to 80 M's basically for him. It's well worth it. I understand that much. Excellent player in that prime of his career style, age range. I know he's under 30, so it'd be, you know, he's in that prime range. Exceptional leader on the pitch as well. You know, I know that other than the German connection, Kimmich and Klopp don't have, you know, some magical connection or something along those lines. However, it could be interesting to see. What is super, super hot right now that's really, really going on is, and I do have, we are going to go through that too, is, this is the more Klopp information and everything else about that. Let me go into this Gomez. there was something I brought up on a couple on what was it? Copish. This preseason not this preseason, but last year's preseason, and it was on Joe Gomez. I'm thinking it is time that Joe Gomez just gets situated and adjusted to life as a right back. I would definitely like to see him get situated and allowed to, really blossom and push on into the right back role. Let's see what Chris Angels got to say. What we saying? I'm putting a tactical team together to raid Fabinho's house to take his dogs. I require your services. No, we just need to be. Yeah, it's true. What's funny is that so I was reading this too. So with Fabinho, it is pit bulls and Rottweilers are the two dogs specifically that they listed as being dogs that they will not allow to enter the country, and I saw that and I'm like, he's got a French bull, a French bull. It's not a pit bull, but it's like what do they call it? It's like a French bull or something like that. It's not a pit bull. It's definitely not a Rottweiler. I mean, like, it has the name Bull is in his name, but I know he doesn't have. I don't understand what's the big mix up or hem up on this thing. I think that I think what you're going to see is something. I think you're going to see something go down in the right way with that, guys. I think it's gonna work out. We're gonna get those things regulated and sorted out. I know exactly what you mean, Beijing Pops, when because I know a lot of people on Twitterverse were ripping and riling about how we need this to get done. We need this to get done. We need those M's in the building so we can get some other people into the transfer market getting into this team. I'm right there with you on that. I've come to peace with, hey, Fabinho and Henderson, thank you for your service. And it's now a new stage with these players. So let's see. So many people are saying give Brighton Joe Gomez and $65 million for Caicedo. Come on, guys. That's rough. Lori saying Van Dijk, great but declining. Konate, great but injury prone. Gomez, disgraceful. Matip, disgraceful. Robertson can't play the LCB role. Simicast, disgraceful. Trent, not now inverted. This is what I'm talking about too, guys. Twitter sometimes is just a place where people just go to yell and scream and just take it out on the world, the negativity. Wow, guys. I would not have taken the direct approach that some of these people are taking. But that's rough. That's really, really rough. Let me see what Virgil van Dijk is trending for. Oh, man. That is rough. I want to get away from that. I know my take wasn't exactly the greatest, but come on. That hurts. All right, so Virgil van Dijk. Yeah, it looks like Virgil's just trending because of just people not really thinking he's the best in the world, and I think he is. Saliba on Virgil van Dijk. I think he was for 2 or 3 years the best defender in the world. Big up to Saliba. But he's saying, I really like his quality in one against one, and his calmness, his composure, and his long balls as well. He has everything. I think he was for 2 or 3 years the best defender in the world. I wonder if that's meaning that he thinks possibly he's the best defender in the world now, or someone's been replaced him from that crest. of being the best defender in the world. I agree. I agree. He's still the best defender in the world. Roger Van Dam talking about Reece James. Reece James is outstanding, which I agree. Reece James is a quality player. Defender makes successful tackle. You win $1 million. There's our big guy. First trophy of the season, the new captain, Roger Van Dijk. What is that trophy? Is that a real trophy? No, that's not a real trophy. Is it? I don't think it's a real trophy. I don't think that was. Liverpool rarely buy from mid-table Premier teams. Look at all the acquisitions that they've made. That's a good point. Yeah. How do you feel about this? This is something I was going on. Chris Angel, Bajan Pops, or whoever else might hop in on, or whoever's watching me on Twitter, or if you're going to hop on later on or anything like that. How do you feel about Virgil van Dijk becoming possibly our next captain? They haven't announced it yet. Obviously, we're trying to – I think what they're going to do is they're going to honor Henderson until he actually gets the final, swan song, however you want to put it, the final thank you. And he'll be out the door. Who do we bring in as our captain? Who would you bring in as our captain? Obviously, here's some of the choices that you could possibly choose: Roger Van Dijk, Mo Salah, Trent AA, Alisson Becker, Andy Robertson, or is there someone else that you might think of as being our captain, our future captain? Because obviously we're going to have to make a transition. There's some more about what Saliba. Saliba obviously has some high praise or high feelings about him, because he's saying, I still watch him. I really like his quality. Wow. You have to work hard to get to this level, so I'm not close to this level. So obviously I answered my question from earlier. But I will give everything to be one day become the best defender in the world. Well, good for you, Saliba, and good luck to you. Because Virgil still holds on to that crest. But yeah, back to what I was asking. Who is our next captain? Who is our next captain? I have reasons why I think that I don't think that Alisson, who rightfully, all these are definitely viable captain candidates. I just don't think that Virgil van Dijk, I don't think that Becker as a goalkeeper, and this is coming from a former keeper, to hold the captain reins as a keeper, it's very difficult. Very, very difficult. And it's just a logistic issue of being where you are on the field. That's just my personal opinion. But I would put Alisson Becker certainly right up there, if not up there as a possible vice captain, possibly. So most obvious choice for me, Bajan Pops, is outside of Mo, with TAA waiting in the wings, is Robbo and AB was also be good choices, but whoever the guys, go with them. Good. Chris Angel says, I don't really see any captain in the squad other than Alisson, but I want a captain not to be a goalkeeper. Agreed. And that's the issue. Alisson's got awesome, amazing qualities. Could be a captain for sure. I'm not saying that he doesn't have leadership qualities. I'm not saying that he obviously does have leadership roles on this team. However, I just don't see it as it's very difficult to put a keeper as a captain, just again for the placement of where you are on the field. Okay, it just is, and it's just one of those things where I'm just like, it makes it difficult to vote him as a captain. Maybe as a vice captain, and I say that, and obviously the only reason why I say that is because you would be honoring him with a nod to being a captain. And if Virgil were to ever be subbed off or not be playing in that game, then obviously he can play that role. It would require. Yeah, and I do. That's what I think. I think a vice captain role for Allison possibly, because most likely I think that Virgil will be on the pitch for the majority of the minutes. And as we've seen, unfortunately for our needs, Virgil plays quite a bit of minutes, and I could see that being a solution possibly in that if Virgil were to come off the field or not be on the field, then yeah, it's an easy passing on the armband to Ali, and we keep it moving. And chances are him coming off the pitch is probably, for whatever reasons it is. I'm not saying it's impossible for a goalkeeper to be a captain. Obviously, Lloris is captain for the Spurs, or was the captain for the Spurs. I'm not sure if he's going to remain or not, but yeah, that's how I see it. All right, I'm keeping this episode short. I just wanted to kind of get one in. I'm going to try to do my best to have an episode a day type thing, because I definitely would like to get the numbers up. I definitely would like to get the word out. I was speaking to Redbird about this initiative that I want to definitely start pressing and pushing forward towards, and that is getting this initiative to support all Reds, support the ones that are definitely trying to be the voices and the positive influences on our youth and on our community in general, because as OGs, I think it's a responsibility that we have to take on. So I'm doing my best to try to be that voice, or be one of the voices out there. Not saying I'm the lone voice, but I'm just trying to say I want to be one of the voices out there. And we have some great voices in the community. Again, Chris Angel being one of them, Bejan Pops and the Bejan crew being some voices out there that really do echo a lot of the importance of supporting fellow Reds in the content creation field and everything else. So Bejan Pops had to say this before I switch it up here. It's usually captained by committee, so who is the most comfortable with the media probably gets the nod. Then it's 2 or 3 others, I think. And I think that's another prime reason why I would like to see Virgil be the captain, because I agree. Usually the captain is someone that you're going to talk to at the end of the game. That's going to be kind of like the person that you get to kind of is the spokesperson or the PR spokesperson for the club. I think Virgil obviously already does that for his national team, which again Mo does, which again Andy Robertson does for his club as well. But yeah, I think Virgil has a good presence in front of the camera. I think Virgil speaks English well enough, obviously, to be able to communicate and to really get across a message or whatever message it is for the club and for possibly his coach or for the team in general. So and that's the reason. That's one of the reasons why I've always been a big Virgil van Dijk supporter. All right, let's just get into it, because we're in the back half. We're going to be coming into the back half of this 30. All right, this is something that I was putting together here. And I want to get you guys reads on these, just as you can help me maybe grade some of these players. All right, so this is what I'm going to ask you to do. So we're doing on a 3-tier stages, or 3 tiers for here. And that is basically bronze, silver, and gold. And what we're going to do is bronze is for someone that either these are for players bought or players transferred. And I've already done some. I've done a quick run through of some of these players. But I wanted to get an idea of, like, a bronze means either he was like, we're not going to throw shade on a lot of these players, but he was or he was like, or he just never really he just wasn't cutting it. Okay. and or something along those lines. Okay. And what we're going to do is you're going to help me grade this out a little bit, because I got to this and I was like, some of these players, I don't know. I don't know how I felt about them. Like, for instance, like Millar, which I agree. Grich was cooking on loan. He unfortunately never really got a real shot at making it here. So, Chris, are you trying to say that I should upgrade him from bronze to possibly a silver? Because silver is for, I'll show you some of the examples. So, and gold, obviously, are players that either contributing or decent players or have some real work. And that's going to be for these players. So, Joel Matip or Amane, obviously, they're gold standard players. Let me see if I put any silvers on our middle. Oh, I haven't changed them. These greens are going to be silvers. So let me change them up for us right now. So these, and silver could be players that are, still have a ways to go, or might be someone that we like, or have a possibility of showing and turning into a gold, but certainly aren't players that you want to say you want to turn your back on, or just never really clicked. All right. So let's see. Jack Byrne. Are we going to give him a bronze? I probably would say yes. We'll go through the bronzes first. How are you guys feeling about Ragnar? Did you really did he really do anything for our club, do you think, in your opinion? And these are all players bought within the year. These are players bought within the Klopp era. Okay. I don't know about Ragnar was an interesting player. Lord Ragnar, right? Yeah. Like, I don't know. He's definitely not obviously a gold, but I mean, like, was he a player that we possibly or had promise but just never amounted to it for us? Or for Millar, I'm gonna have to go for bronze. I'm gonna have to go for a bronze for Alex still. I don't know about Clever. Was he a G? Interesting. All right. I'm going by what the chat. I'm a man of the people, so I'm gonna go by what the chat says. The chat's saying a silver on him. I'll give him a silver rating. How about for Jaros? Was he a bronze? Definitely not a gold. I'm not giving gold. This is supposed to be bronze, people. Yellow is supposed to be gold. Silver obviously is silver, and this brown is supposed to be bronze. Jaros, was he a silver? We're saying he's a bronze. I don't know. A lot of these players, unfortunately, we never really got a real adequate sample size of what they offered for, or what they could offer for the club. I obviously didn't watch Slavia Prague too often. I didn't have them in my feed for coming across. Bronze, yeah, and I think he's a bronze player too. How about Yasser? I think he's probably a bronze player too. If I'm wrong, tell me. If I'm wrong, I know he got a stick. Tony Gallagher, Gallagher. I'm gonna have to go with bronze on that one. Bobby Duncan, Manchester City, which is a surprise. It is tough, and I agree with that. And this is the point I agree with this so hardly. A lot of them didn't get a shot. It's tough out there. It is. But you also might think that if they didn't get a shot, there might have been a reason why they never got a shot. Maybe because of availability, or that they just didn't get a shot because you have the shot that, or the position they're fighting for is filled. But yeah. I'm gonna go with Bobby Duncan. Did he have so much promise? Whatever happened to him, Bayesian? What happened to Bobby Duncan? I'm gonna put him under silver under the fact that he had promise, he just never showed. But whatever happened to him? That's a real crazy thing. Really? A lot of people are saying mismanaged. That's a very interesting. I don't really have an opinion on Bobby Duncan, but I'm gonna do a little bit more research on Bobby. I have to do a little bit more research. His agent was wild. I'm hearing. Okay. How about Isaac? Was he gold? Obviously not gold. I think I hit most of the golds, but silver or a bronze on Isaac, who came to us in 2008 from Chelsea. Oh, I see why you think it's gold, because it's actually gold in the color bracket, but that's supposed to be bronze. That's a bronze for me. All right, yellow, we're saying it's gold. If I'm wrong, Isaac, please do tell me, but I'm rating him at that. I had high hopes for Ki-Jana. I thought that he was going to amount to something. And Billy the Kid, I had high hopes for too. I don't think I'm wrong in possibly putting them as silvers, as being players that had promise, but we did give up on them, but still the same. Yeah, I think I'm not wrong on saying that. Ben Winterbottom from the Blackburn Rovers. I agree too. There was a lot of press, a lot of big hype being put on both of those players. Obviously, the hype helps when you're trying to, sell those players, but it's interesting. I don't know too much about Ben Winterbottom. Came to us in 2019 from the Blackburn Rovers. That's an interesting thing. I'm gonna have to go with, unfortunately, my friend, a bronze on you. This might be controversial. I'm gonna go silver on Adrian, only because he brought us some silverware. Only because he brought us some silverware, I'm gonna give Adrian a silver. Otherwise, he'd be a solid bronze, obviously. And yeah, he's a free agent and everything else. I don't know too much about this player as well. Andy. I'm gonna go with these guys as being bronze too. I'm gonna go with it's spot on with the sales. Let's see, Chris Angel saying blame Klopp for some of those names, to be fair, and Billy the Kid ain't no kid. That's a bodybuilder. Okay. He's putting in work. Okay, I get it. Very interesting. Joe Hardy. It's a very interesting list, and it's kind of like a fun little like behind the scenes take on me putting together some of my charts or spreadsheets and everything else. I was saying, to be fair, he did his thing for us the year we won the league. That's why, to be fair, I'm giving props where props are due for Adrian. Adrian gets the silver for the fact that he did bring us silverware. He did his thing by filling in for when we needed him to fill in. These players here, Joe, Malcolm, and Fabian, never really got a shot. They're 2020. I'm not sure if I'm not even sure if they're with our team anymore, to be honest with you. But I'm going to have to go with a bronze on them because I haven't seen or heard or had any buzz going on for those players. I Let's see. I got some golds in there. I got some silvers and bronzes. Yes, I know. He did win us a trophy, for sure. Bobby Clark. Bobby Clark. How are we feeling about Bobby Clark? I want to kind of press and say a silver. I don't know if he was necessarily like a total loss or something on those lines. You know, I don't really think that just yet. So, yeah, this is some of the rest of the list is, you know, Ben Duke, you know, Calvin Ramsey. Oh, these are supposed to be silvers. If I had them greens, originally the green was the color originally, but let me put them into silvers. Okay. So are we talking about Bobby Clark? Bejan? It still has a shot? I put him as a silver. That's what I did. Ben Davis, obviously not, but a lot of those other names, you know, a lot of those other names I couldn't even pronounce, much less figure out just yet. All right, so let's move on to players sold. How were you feeling? Now, this should be interesting. Your feelings about these players that were formerly or at one point or not. These 54 next players have been either on our team or not. Hell yeah, for sure. Much love for Bobby. So these players are 54 players that we've sold. Okay, these are this right here is obviously who the team we sold them to. This is the fee that we got. I still have some work to do with the net game, but I'll figure that out by the time we get to the actual episode. But yes, let's get it on. So Jordan, Jordan, I'd have to go as a bronze. I don't know. For me, Jordan was a bronze player for me. I'd say easily these three players actually as being bronze players. João Teixeira, Jerome, and Sergey. Obviously, they really didn't bring much to the table. I have Martin Skirtle as being a silver for some reason, but Martin Skirtle is obviously a gold. Come on now. How dare I? How dare I? Jordan eBay. He's someone that I thought I had so much high hopes for him. Such high hopes for him. There was a piece that a content creator brought out asking who you thought of as being our youth academy that had promise but never really amounted to the promise that he was supposed to be a part of. And a lot of the votes that I saw in the comment section were for Jordan being the biggest disappointment. He was definitely. I was disappointed to see where his career ended up going to and what eventually happened with his career, or where his career is at right now. I think he might be finally actually no longer even in the professional ranks of football, which is unfortunate for a player that again I had so much high promise for. I have it being a silver, primarily because of the promise, but also because we got 15 million out of Bournemouth for him to play. And also to bring a bow on that comment, I actually thought that Jordan was actually my second highest. Okay, he has some real issues. The Polish Messi actually is my first in being someone that I thought had so much promise in the academy, but unfortunately never has been able to show that promise because apparently the Polish Messi is about to be leaving our team, unfortunately. But yeah, Joe Allen. I thought Joe Allen had promise. 13 million to Stoke City, not bad. Brad Smith, 3 million. I don't know if Brad Smith actually was that great of a player. I'm gonna go with a bronze for him. Christian Benteke. Oh wow! Being that I just saw Benteke playing in the All-Star game for the MLS All-Star game against, or at least against he's playing in the skills competition at least. Christian Benteke was someone that I had a lot of promise. He could easily be someone that could be a bronze, but considering we got 27 million pounds for him, kept him in the range of being a silver for me. Big Ben was a bad boy. What was this about Ben? Ben Smith. Big Ben was a bad boy who should never have come to Liverpool. It was too much for him. Oh, wow. And this is why I respect Bejan Pops LLC, and I respect Chris Angel's viewpoints, because they actually have some really, really great takes and really some in-depth and measured approaches when it comes to evaluating these players that, let's be honest, for some of us, some of these players we've never even really gotten the opportunity to see do anything. So, Luis Alberto to Lazio. I had him as silver. Let's see, but Joe Maguire and for Thiago. We never really got to see them really cook at all. I'll go with bronze on that. Obviously, it hurts my heart. Big up to Jay Kismet. It hurts my heart to it hurts my heart to put Balotelli in the bronze, because I never wanted him to. I'm a big Super Mario fan. Knowing the story of his rise and somewhat tumultuous fall, it hurts. It hurts a lot. I was so amped and so stoked when we got him. Unfortunately, we want to talk about, going through some mental issues, and mental health is a serious subject. Yeah, Mario has some really troubling things going on in a already somewhat unbalanced person, unfortunately, and it hurt to see him come to our club and kind of never really had the support system that he truly needed. Kevin Stewart, how you feel about Kevin Stewart? Was Kevin Stewart a baller, or was Kevin Stewart a flop? How are we feeling about Kevin Stewart? Came to us, was transferred out in 2017 for £7 million. I don't know. I'm leaning towards giving Kevin Stewart a bronze. I don't know how people are feeling about that, but yeah, I don't know too much about Hull City. Is who we unloaded Kevin Stewart off to for $7 million. I didn't really get the chance to really get a good choice, good evaluation period for Kevin Stewart. $7 million, it's a nice number back, but if I'm wrong, tell me, because right now I'm giving him a bronze. Some of these next names, all right. Still was the. That's what I thought. You know what I mean? $7 million is a nice return on that transfer fee. But other than that, I don't know if I'm giving Kevin Stewart anything. I mean, yeah, man. Let's see. Cameron, $250K. Lloyd Jones, $200,000. Jordan Williams, Paulo Alves, Danny Ward. Okay, so out of these four, I'm definitely giving bronzes to, because they were all just whatevers. And who knows? I don't even know if Lloyd Jones is still with Luton Town. Hopefully he is, because then we'll get a chance to see him play in the Prem this year. But Danny Ward, how are we feeling about Danny Ward? Did he ever really amount to what we envisioned him to amount? Would you give him a silver as being someone that was like, baller? Yeah, we got good quality worth out of him, along with a nice healthy price tag, Danny Ward. And again, Ragnar left our team and got us £2 million. What did we rate him before? We gave him did we give him a let's see, what did we give Ragnar? We gave Ragnar, I think we gave Ragnar a silver, I want to say. Where was Ragnar in here? Yeah, gave him a silver. All right. We'll stay consistent and give him a silver. But let's see. Ward was okay for a bit, but seriously fell off. That's what Bejan Pop says. Yeah. He did turn up for a couple of matches here and there. Never really fired off, but we'll give him a silver, especially considering we got 12.5 pounds for him back. Solanke. Dominic Solanke, who we unloaded to Bournemouth. I thought there was some promise in Solanke. I don't know if other people disagree. I thought that Solanke had some promise. He was definitely hyped, and he was definitely a player I thought showed promise. The fact that we got 19 million pounds for him from Bournemouth says that obviously Bournemouth thought there was still promise in this player. I'm gonna give him a silver. Markovic. I thought he had promise too. It's surprising that we didn't get a fee for him. So that probably means that we would probably did a. I don't know if we did. We never did a swap deal for him. But yeah, Dominic Solanke. I agree with that. That's my point. Wait, hold on. Let me see what Chris said. That gold a gold look at the money exchange. Yeah, I got you. That is true. I am, and let's keep that as a factor. Like, as in, even though they were possibly not that great of a player, if we got some ka-ching back for him, if we got some real money back for him, that should bump up your evaluation of the player per se, of what value we got for him. But Bejan Pop saying Big Dom was okay, but again, the red shirt wears heavy on a lot of these players. Absolutely agree on that one. He's also saying less said about less. All right. So then, all right, let's give Lazar a bronze. How about that? That's about the less we can say for him. Rafael Camacho. We got $5 million for Camacho for Sporting Lisbon. Yeah. I don't. This is a really fun look at this, because these are all the players that in this Klopp era. Again, all of these players have either been bought or sold during the Klopp era. These are all bought and sold during the Klopp era, and yeah, this is gonna be a two-parter in this, right? So this is why it's a fun little look at this, because like Camacho, we got $5 million in Sporting Lisbon in 2019. No, obviously, I'm going to give Ings hands down silver, because Danny Ings was my boy. I like Danny. Danny just, unfortunately, with the injuries and everything else. And in fact, we got 18 million. Might even bump up to a goal, to be honest with you, considering that, he was definitely hurting. And in Southampton's not even the team he plays for anymore. But yeah, Camacho, I'm gonna go bronze on him. $5 million sounds like a nice figure to have gotten back for him, but I don't know too much about if he was really that much of a baller. We're gonna have to go bronze on my man George Johnson. Yeah, injuries killed Ings' career. Absolutely spot on. Bejan Pops is saying I'd love to hear if Jay Kismet's still in the chat. I'd like to hear what he has. Oh, okay, cool. Just as I say it, I get a little shout out from him because yeah, I like Jay Kismet's takes on things too. Beijing Pops is saying injuries killed Ings. He was a Klopp player when fully fit, absolutely spot on. I think that he was not only a Klopp player, in my opinion, he was a truly born to be a Reds player. Like as in just had that heart, that like I'll just that bring your lunch pail to work style at kind of vibe with him. I really liked his what he really brought to it. But yeah, come on. I'm hearing that. That's something I did. I know. Played in Macedonia. Okay, kind of solidifies his bronze status, I guess, if that's where he's going with his career. So yeah, like Mignolet. All right, Mignolet. Let's not hate on Mignolet. I don't know if he should get a gold status. Am I alone on that? I don't know if he should get a gold status, but Mignolet did his part. He did his thing. I'd be willing to give him a silver. I'm not going to go as far as to give him a bronze, but I'd give him a silver. Ryan Kent. Ryan Kent's an interesting player. I don't know how you guys feel about Ryan Kent. Ryan Kent went to the Rangers. Definitely not gold, for sure. Definitely not gold. Ryan Kent went to the Rangers. And Beijing Pops, the only reason I was saying maybe gold, 6.4 that we got back from is a nice little price for a goalkeeper, is a nice little price too. And the fact he obviously went back, he went to Belgium and was still doing his thing with Club Bruges to get them into the Champions League, but whatever. Ryan Kent, I think, was a good player. I agree. I'd be willing to give him a silver. And obviously, Rangers, another good team. Very, very good team. Let's see. Bobby Duncan. I'm going to have to go with – no, I'm not going with all of those players. So that's my boy. I'm going to go with these players as being bronze. Tell me if I'm wrong. Even though Bobby Duncan did show some promise, he didn't show obviously enough. But Adam Lallana, I don't like the fact that he left I don't like the fact they left and we didn't get any fee for him back. But Lallana was not a bronze. He certainly wasn't a bronze. Let me make sure I state that. I think he would be a gold for me if we got something back for him, but considering we got nothing back for him in Brighton, I'll have to double check and look into that because I have freeze underneath here too. I have people that left that were released. Okay. But I guess maybe some of these players are just, transfers, but I guess my frees are a part of this. And I guess releases are just absolutely, we just released them. I don't know if you guys are feeling this one, but I'm going to go gold on my boy here. Dejan Lovren was a good player, y'all. I'm not hating on Lovren. I know some people will be like, maybe gold is way too high for him, but I thought Lallana, and I thought if we'd gotten money for Lallana, I would have been cool giving him a gold. I'm giving him a silver only because we got nothing back for him. And I'm going to give Lovren, we got close to 11 million pounds for Lovren. He ended up going to Russia, but he was a faithful servant when he was here. Obviously, he actually helped with the locker room and was hugely helpful when it came to, being the best friend of Mo Salah, obviously. So it is what it is. Even though we got a lot of getting 9 million for him was pretty good. I'm still going to go silver on him. Let's see. Oh, big up. Hang with the Nomies says, big up. Why the hate for Lovren, 12th man? This ain't Groove Street. How did I even show that? I just gave him a big out shout out. I just gave him a gold. That's love, bro. Come on. Come on, man. I liked Lovren. I'm on the few that probably does. Dejan Pop saying for the goal against Diamond, I gave Desi. Okay. I got you. Let's see. Brewster. All right. Here's someone I'm going to give Brewster, and tell me and hear my reasoning for giving him what I'm about to give him. All right. I'm going to give Brewster a gold rating, and for the fact that we got $23.5 million for him in return from Sheffield United is crazy. Ryan was also someone that I had high hopes. I thought he was a player that just unfortunately for him had a body like he has a body similar to Sterling in my mind. A player that's a shorter stature player, has speed, has the ability to like dribble. Obviously could be a goal scorer when pressed. So much promise for him. I thought Brewster had so much promise, but yeah, I'm putting him as a gold because us getting $23.5 million back for him. That's just thank you. Where do I sign? But yeah, I miss Brewster. Brewster was a good player. I like he obviously was grew up with the club, had enough of a connection with the club where I remember you guys remember the hip hop thing? Did you guys see that segment when they did the hip hop and it was Joey, it was Ox, it was Virgil, and it was Brewster, and they were all like trying to figure out certain lines or what hip hop, who was like going to be the hip hop, the king of hip hop in the locker room. That was a fun episode, but yeah, it was a shame for him. I'm gonna go for Ovi or Avi. I hope I didn't pronounce that wrong. I'm gonna go bronze for Avi. I don't know too much about Avi, but yeah. Let's see what some comments are rolling in a little bit here. Dejan Pop, Brewster's goal. Exactly my point, and that's why I'm saying what we get in return for him, obviously from our benefit, and also for the solidification of saying what these players still represented towards other players is what I'm looking at. Hang with the Nomi says Brewster. I thought the man wasn't the real man. Was like a hologram, but still get a CL medal. Champions, yeah, absolutely. He did get that Champions medal. Tough man, you go to Ginny. We will throw hands. We'll see. I know. Ginny's coming up on it. I know. Jessica says, let's see, Chris Bart Williams and Trevor Francis both passed away. Oh, that's R.I.P. Definitely. Rest in peace for sure. I did not hear that, but that's on a serious tone. You Never Walk Alone resonates completely with that, and much love and sympathies and condolences go out to their families and to the honoring of their name. All right. Let's get back into this. Let's see. Herbie Kane. All right. I'm going to go with these players being bronzes. Let's just get that out. I'm going to give Lara, I'm going to give a bronze as well. All right. How are we feeling about Wijnaldum? You got to recognize he's a gold player for sure. Gold player, all well and good. Gold all the way, Ginny. However, he left on a free. That hurt. That we got nothing in return for him. But I'm going to go and give him a gold. Come on. Ginny's my guy. I can't do that. Let's see. Camille, 3 million. Went to Copenhagen for 3 mil. We're gonna give him a silver. Give him a bronze. That's a good question. Let's give him a. I'm gonna give him a silver. Give him a silver. All right, we're getting towards the end. I will admit, this is another player that kind of hurt to not see amount to what the promise carried with his name and with what I thought he could have amounted to. I really thought that this player was going to blossom into a quality player for us, or eventually into a quality player for us. It was a shame to see that he never really did what he really promised to do for us. I know. Yeah, that's true. Let's not go there. I guess I don't know. Hang with the Nomies is a West Ham. Big up to G. Big up, G. G should definitely weigh in on these because G is good. G is the man when it comes to evaluating talent and giving us the 411 on, and that for those of us outside of America, that's the information for what a lot of these players really can bring to the table when it comes to a lot of these things. I would go Grujic. I would go as a gold. I thought he played well. Harry Wilson. Oh man, these are both getting golds. All these guys get golds. Obviously, they're getting golds. I'm giving all these guys golds here. Actually, Nico. The reason why I'm giving Nico Williams a gold is not because Nico Williams was a gold type player, but because we got 16 million pounds from Nottingham Forest for him. That is incredible. All right. Incredible that we got that much from Nottingham Forest. Minamino, 13 million, definitely. Mane, obviously gold. Nothing needs to be said. Shaqiri, big ups. Killing it in the MLS right now, but all the same, 9 million pounds from Lyon. All right. Harry Wilson and Marco are two players that I thought we should have. I think, unfortunately, we didn't get everything that we wanted to get out of those players. Obviously, getting back 12 million and 10 million respectively is a good look. But, man, Harry Wilson, was like on the levels of what we expected to get out of, or what we expected, and our expectations are for Elliott, for instance. All right, but Harry Wilson, it was a shame to see him go. Marco. Yeah, I realized Marco Grujic. I'm giving him a goal because not only did he 10.5, but he was the first acquisition. He was the first player brought in by Klopp, which is kind of crazy. Jake Kimmich is saying, my partner met Grujic in Berlin at the bar restaurant she was at. She said, "Oh, I met a footballer today, not knowing he plays for Liverpool Wills on loan at Hertha." Okay, Union Berlin for sure. Let's see. Yeah, this is on Harry Wilson. Harry Wilson reminds me of Ben Woody. Absolutely agree on that. Ben Woodward was someone that I had high hopes for as well. A lot of promise, just never quite delivered is well put. That is well put by Bejan Pops. Just never really amounted to what I thought he was going to amount to. The fact that we got, he should be a bronze, but I'm going to give him a silver, considering that we should have, the hologram known as Ben Davies, the fact that we got 4.2 million for him, that shows a lot. That shows a hell of a lot. Tom Clayton, and unfortunately, Leighton Clarkson. I'm going to have to give you a bronze, Leighton. A lot of promise, unfortunately, just never amounted to what we thought he was going to do. Now, these last bit of players are all players that left on freeze or just left the club, like via release, was released by the club technically. Okay. Jose Enrique. Do you think that we got the value out of Jose Enrique? Do you think that he was a valuable player for this club? I know that Dan Cleary wasn't, so I'm going to give Dan Cleary a bronze. I know that Alex, unfortunately, I'm going to give you a bronze. Hamilton Academicals. What is the Hamilton? Who are the Hamilton Academicals? That's getting a bronze. John, yeah, tell me about it. I think I have him on this list. Yeah, I don't know about. What's your feelings on Jose Enrique? Thumbs up on Jose Enrique. Thumbs down on Jose Enrique. The thumbs down is going to. If you give me a thumbs down, it's going to be a bronze. A thumbs up is going to make me put him as a silver. I don't know where I would put Jose Enrique. Got better in the team when Suarez and Stars were on fire. Jose Enrique is a bum. Wow. Okay. Enrique was a good footballer. All right. I'm going to share some of these comments. Kesmet is saying he got better with time when Suarez and Stars were on the team. But Hang with the Nomi says he was a bum. All right. Enrique was a good footballer, maybe better for the Geordies than us, but a good pro. Okay. We got big money for him, so I'm good. Okay. And last, he got, I don't know what that says, but yeah. All right. I'm gonna have to put him as a bronze. I think Torre was a good player. The fact that he was released is kind of concerning, but I mean, I thought Kolo Torre was a good player for us. Not a gold. I'm not going to do as far as to put him as a gold, but a good player. Jack Dunn. I thought Jack Dunn wasn't terrible. I didn't think Jack Dunn was terrible. Along with Adam Phillips, I didn't think Adam Phillips was terrible. Was Yezel a silver player? Putting him as a silver for right now. I think Ryan McLaughlin was a bronze. I don't think he was that great of a player for us. Am I wrong by putting these guys as bronzes for having played with us? Jack Dunn and Adam Phillips. Am I wrong by saying that? Am I wrong by saying Ryan McLaughlin or Dan Cleary? I don't know. I happen to, or am I wrong by putting Yezel as a silver? I mean, I know he's close to being a bronze, but okay. Adam Phillips. Yeah, Adam Phillips was really good. That's what I thought. I thought Adam Phillips was a good player, but the fact that he got released, it's kind of was kind of concerning. I don't know if we got any real worth. And again, this is if we got worth for the player, like as in if you think that despite the fact that we released them or that they left on a free, okay, do you think that we got any worth from them? Did they actually contribute? Do you think that if they're silver, I'm going to say that they possibly contribute in some form or another for our club? But yeah, I don't think that I thought John Flanagan was a decent player. I think he contributed somewhat. I don't know if he's a silver, but I'm going to put him as a silver for now. If I'm wrong, please tell me. I thought Moreno was a silver. Never quite made it for us. He's a bronze. Yeah, I agree with you. Like, he never really did much for us. And maybe for Yezel, I'm getting. I always thought because of his promise that I thought maybe, but considering that he got released, I'll do like I'm a man of the people. I'll put him as a bronze. We're almost done the list here, guys. I hope no one goes on my Daniel Sturridge. Despite him being injured, I still thought that Daniel Sturridge brought some real positives. Plus, he's just a classy guy. I like him a lot. I thought Emre Can was I don't know what happened to Emre Can. Emre Can obviously still balling out in Dortmund, but I always thought that Emre Can, I always thought he was a Klopp style player. I'm surprised he didn't stay with us and really blossom into what we see he's doing for Dortmund, for instance. I'm gonna have to go bronzes on all these three. Even though Adam Bogdan was supposed to be a baller, never really amounted to much. I'm putting Klein as a silver. I thought Klein gave something to our team. Now the rest of these names, I'm going to be a quick bronze on all those players because I don't know if any of these guys really contributed much of anything. Shamal, George, or Isaac, Daniel, Andy, Yassir, maybe Yassir, but Morgan Boys, Tony Gallagher, really not much of any of those players amounted much of anything. I don't know why I had him as silver, brothers. I will bring him up to a gold before I get yelled at for having Divock in as a silver. Let's see. And this is the end of the list. All right. So now Lewis Longstaff got released, went to the Cove Rangers. I don't even know that's a club. I'm going to put him as a bronze. And these last two, they're obviously been released pretty early. Jack Byrne. I put Naby Keita, even though Naby, all goods, but the fact that we've spent so much money for Naby Keita and the fact that we got very little to any return. We got some return from Naby. There were times when Naby showed up for us. There were times when people like myself were saying, wow, maybe the NFT midfield is going to be something to that we go into the future with. Liam Hughes. I don't know too much about Liam. Oh, let me pull this up for you guys. Liam Hughes and Jack Byrne. I don't know. What does Hang with the Normies have to say? I would take Bejan Burns over them players. I take Bejan Barnes over a lot of players for sure. Bejan Barnes is class act. Yeah, this is the list. Let me just run through this list again with you guys. If we're going, I'll just pull up from the bottom here. These are all players that were released. These are the bronze and silvers and golds. Obviously, James Miller, Bobby, obviously get golds. Divock gets a gold. Nathan. A lot of the releases, if you look at them, we really didn't get that much. I mean, it was more so a lot of these releases, I think, are releases that we should have actually. What we got from them is what we got from them. Alberto Moreno. What's got what he got? Flanagan. Can someone give me a real good rating on John Flanagan? Am I rating him too high by giving him a silver? Did he really contribute to our club at all, really, to where he would merit a silver? Keep in mind, I mean, I gave Naby a bronze because of his price tag, and it didn't amount to what he produced. But Oh, I will. I will see them. For right now, this is just the rough draft of what we're doing. We're doing the rough draft. This is the behind the scenes when it comes to a lot of these players because, again, yellow here, or this is supposed to be gold. This is obviously supposed to be the browns. I'm going to change the coloring. I'm going to make it look spot on as a quality spreadsheet for you guys when the second part of this 2-part episode gets dropped. And what it is going to be is the second part of this episode is going to be really seeing if these players really brought worth to our team, if we really got anything from these players, okay? And how many of the players that were so up in arms about leaving or we didn't get enough or whatever, if we really got value for these players. That's something that the second part of this is going to really show. But the only question is, again, is John Flanagan, am I rating him too high? Is that too much? Should he be a bronze? Is that what everyone's saying right now? It's a bronze for John Flanagan. If Bijan Barnes can move better than John Flanagan, he's definitely getting a bronze. Oh man, Bijan Barnes on the beach right now, you know. He is not moving for anyone. But yeah, so a lot of these players, a lot of bronzes. These are the players right here that we sold. Some golds. I know some people might not like that I gave Minamino a gold, but hey, I think he contributed immensely. Us getting 13 million is a deal. It's a very interesting list. If anything, you know what? From this list, if you guys get a chance from this list, just look at it. You'll see what I mean by there's some really interesting names on here. Some very interesting names on here as to players that really brought some things. And I'm going to pull down the list, but I'm going to segue from my gold being Felipe Coutinho. I was getting 142 million pounds for this man. Why I'm going to bring is this. All right, let me bring myself into center square here. Why I'm going to bring is this. I'm bringing that Felipe Coutinho as a gold and showing his worth is this. A lot of people say what they want to say about Coutinho and everything about us getting 142 million and that obviously leading to us being able to purchase obviously Ali and VVD. But a deeper introspection of the Coutinho situation is a lot of us have to give thanks and praises to Neymar. And hear me as I land on this. my class off. Yeah, right. The reason why I'm saying that you have to give props out to Coutinho or to Neymar, excuse me, is this reason. Now you'll keep in mind that Neymar was bought by PSG. And the massive amount of money that Barcelona got in return for Neymar ended up being the nest egg they used for making a beyond astronomical and, if anything, we all can say somewhat outrageous bid of 142 million pounds for Coutinho. That is something of an amazing number. But again, this is why, I hear a lot of people say what they do about Neymar and everything else. I hear about possibly even his partner for right now in PSG, Mr. Mbappe. Look, if we go for Mbappe, that'd be huge. That'd be super huge. But if we go for Mbappe, we would have had to have had most likely another Felipe Coutinho style transfer be exiting our team and us receiving those kinds of funds for us to initially go after Mbappe. And I know, big shout out to Quasi Bowl TV. I'm sure he doesn't want to hear this, but realistically speaking, I don't see Mbappe, unfortunately, coming to our club, despite the fact that there are rumors about him being involved or this and that. Hey, we can all dream, and I'm not trying to rain on people's dreams, but what I am saying is, man, the amount of money that this man is going for is incredible. The amount of money that is reportedly being thrown around for his services is absolutely incredible. And I just don't know. I mean, I just don't know if that's ever going to amount to what we would like to see it come, but we'll see. Let's see what Hang with the Nomies has to say. That's because our club ain't afraid to go balls out on players. You had a chance to buy Isaac, but said he wasn't worth $60 million in the move. You men let yourself down by doing that. Okay, so I guess this is the original comment here. Wilson has improved big time. That Isaac signing did that. I agree. Having competition made a difference in the whole evolution of the Newcastle's forwards. I do happen to think that I don't necessarily agree. 60 M's for the player, for Isaac, would have been, if you think that Darwin Nunez is getting slack for his price tag, I think you would have never heard the end of it if you had if you really wanted to go with what you had to deal with on Isaac having that kind of price tag. I don't think Isaac would have ever gotten even remotely the whiff of an opportunity. There's enough of us of the fan base alone, and Hang with the Nomies. This is me just speaking about my Reds brethren. There's enough of our fan base that don't want to give Darwin Nunez an opportunity as is in this club. I happen to think that Darwin Nunez is going to amount to the money that we spent for him. I think that when it comes to strikers, especially forwards, but when it comes to especially when it comes to that number 9 position, you tend to have a price tag associated with those players normally being over 60, 70, 80 million, when it comes to players that are going to be, let's just put it for what it is, those players that are going to be putting the ball in the back of the net. So, yeah, man, I happen to think that, I personally think that Darwin Nunez is a little bit of a better player than Isaac, but I'm not saying that Isaac, excuse me, Isaac isn't a good player. I'm saying Isaac's a talented player, a hell of a lot of promise, and someone that has certainly helped Newcastle. And again, what the comment exactly says is that he immensely helped, bring Wilson's game up, I think, because he ended up making Wilson have to work for that position. I just personally believe that. Okay. All right. See, I hang with the Nomies. You're my Nomie, but come on, brother. I don't want to even go down this route because I saw that comment. But yeah, let me pull this up real quick. Let me pull this up really, really quickly. Should be able to pull it But as equal opportunity, I'll bring it up. Let's see what you have to say. Because you're gonna trigger my trap card here, but it's all good. Hang with the number saying Nunez does not fit your system. Stevie Wonder can see that. Your men played Nunez on left wing most of the season. Then when you watched the Manchester United game, he drifted into the 18-yard box. He hit 2 goals. He then has to say, and I know Jake Isman's going to come at him. All right, so Jake Isman says, we have no problem scoring goals. We beat you guys twice. It's letting them in last season. That was the problem. I agree. That's spot on. We still finished 4th, though. Okay. You did. You hit my 71. You hit my 71, which would have amounted to still us getting 5th place, even if we hit 71, because of the goal differential. Nunez needs to play in the middle. Yes. Okay. So, all right. We're going to end on this. But before we do, okay, since we're already we're getting into this Jake Isman point, or the point or Hang with the Nomies had to say, man, I didn't want to do this, but we're about to bring it up because realistically, and I'm cool with it being the 71 man. I see it. I'm cool. That's cool. There's going to be a lot of predictions I'm going to get right, and there's going to be a lot of predictions I get wrong. Trust me on that. But all the same, I'm definitely going to put a lot of work and effort into it. And let's just be honest. Mo Salah hits again. Klopp brought it up in the press conference. Klopp brought it up in that Mo Salah connects on 2 penalties. Guess what? We're hitting 71. All right? We're hitting 71 points. We just are. Mo Salah let me down, but it's all good. I still got love for Mo Salah, as always. But let me just say this. So the point was brought up about that he needs to play, that Nunez needs to play left wing, okay? I think that as someone that, I'm not saying you don't watch the games or anything like that, but let's get it real. Facts need to be clarified when bringing out statistics or bringing out claims or takes. Hang with the Nomies. I definitely can understand that you see Nunez as being a left winger or this or that. But let's be honest with it. He did not play. Factually, it's inaccurate what you said, because he played 27 matches as center forward for us, and he played 15 matches at left wing for us. Okay. Now, his production, okay, albeit, was slated, if you're looking at it, at having better production as a left wing. That I can agree with you under the numbers wise. However, what I can say is this, is that because why I'm saying that is because he had scored 7 goals out of 15 games, whereas he scored 18 goals at center forward in 27 games, okay? There's a caveat to those statistics, though. And the caveat is he did amount to having more opportunities at center forward. He did amount to having created bigger chances for his left and right wing counterparts by playing center forward, because by pressing that back line, he ended up causing more havoc. And I'm going to have an episode, and you know what? I'm going to do part 2 tomorrow for the reason why I brought up the spreadsheet. And then let's slate Wednesday as being the in-depth look that I have on for our forward line, because I definitely think that there's a lot of misconceptions going out there with like who deserves to be starting, what players deserve to have minutes and everything else. So looks like there's a little bit of a rumble starting out in the chat. Let's all calm down and enjoy it, enjoy the company here. But yeah, I definitely think that what we're going to see when it comes to my man, Dean Vassor, when it comes to Vassor, we're going to see what I've been pressing. And one of the key reasons why I have been saying I don't really mind the big chance misses. I'll keep that with a grain of salt, being I would have a bigger problem with Darwin Nunez or Darwin Vassar not being in the right position, in the right positions, than if he's missing the opportunities. Because it's for me, I believe, hey, I know I think Beijing Pops likes dominoes. I think that's like it's like a Caribbean pastime. I know I've seen like the World Series of Dominoes, a lot of Caribbean, a lot of people in the Caribbean like that, love dominoes. And for me, the reason why I'm bringing up the domino comment is this. When it comes to our front line, the counter press is essential to the success rate of our forwards. And what I mean by that is Darwin Nunez is going to, once he incorporates at being a top-notch gold standard in the counter press, which he has slowly but surely taken on the responsibility and understanding of the necessary need of a counter press. And the reason why, if anything, to me, why you often see a Hata or even a Hakpo start before him is because they are more developed in their counter press abilities. Okay. And when it comes to Darwin Nunez, I believe the Vassar is going to be able to create incredibly easy opportunities for him, and especially for his left and right wingers, or maybe center forward. But he's going to create some incredible opportunities for him, for himself, and for his counterparts, primarily because that counter press is going to be retrieving the ball or getting the ball back in dangerous portions of the field. In portions of the field where he's going to have, most notably, especially playing center forward, possibly only maybe one defender, if not the goalkeeper, as being the last opposition he's going to see. And that's going to enormously bring some confidence to his game, because the opportunities he's going to get are going to be extremely, extremely less complex. And I think that's the most initial important part. I like how people sometimes just relate and just, talk about the big chances. Look, you have to be in opportunities to get big chances. That's the one thing I love about this player, is that he's in the opportunities to get the big chances. Once he slows the game down in his mind, once he slows the game down in the sense of being able to focus and see it all the way through, he is going to be deadly. He's going to be, you'll figure and understand why I call him the Vassar. You'll figure out he will truly be the Vassar. And I'm sure once I get that nickname to his camp, they will take that name on. They will definitely take that name on, because it gives, love to his native country of Uruguay, and it gives props out to him as being, that the next Cavani, if anything, and that's how I see him. So yeah. Yeah, there is a World Series of Dominoes, by the way. There is a World Series, and it's on ESPN. You got to check that out sometime. It's on some next level, man. I was surprised about that too. But yeah, I'm not even that big in dominoes, but when I saw that, I was like, wow, that's pretty funny. But yeah, D9. Hey man, I dropped an episode. Again, this is a shout out to my 71. Hey, like I said, I made the prediction that he'll be repping. I made the shout out that he would be repping the number 9. I got a lot of pushback from a lot of my Res brethren, but fortunately for that, prediction. It came right. This is also right around. I had my call came out right as I was hoping that that Luis Diaz was going to get the number 7, which he did, and I wasn't able to get that prediction out before he did. So that is what it is. But I did get the number 9 right. But yeah, man. But it's gonna be a fun year, guys. I'm just saying, breathe with me. Hopefully, you will attest to what it says, to this part right here. That's that word right there. I'm looking for my believers. If you're a believer like I am, I'm looking for you to support not only this channel, but to pass that belief on to those of our Reds brethren, to emphasize the fact that us together, we are mighty. Divided, not so much. We're just Reds when we're divided. We're going to push away the doubters, guys, and let's be believers again, man. You're going to see it. Part 2 of this episode of this breakdown. I know it started with the Twitter takes, and we ended up getting into this the evaluation of did we get our value did we get our value for these players, and all the players in the Klopp era. Part 2 is going to be fun because that's where I'm going to have a complete breakdown. Don't worry, Bejan Pops. I'll have it all color coordinated and everything else so that's easy to read, and everyone will be able to understand where it is and what it is that what we're looking at. And hopefully, I'll have some more believers. Because I know I'm a believer. I know that Liverpool, long before Klopp even entered as the coach, I was a believer, but this Klopp definitely has made me more of a believer than more of a believer than a doubter. And I believe in you, Reds. I believe in my Reds always, and I believe that I want to be a voice for those believers. So and even for those doubters, because I want you to believe as well. I want you to understand and enjoy the moment with me. I want us all to, if you guys get a chance, check out Bejan Barnes and Bejan Reds TV, little short where Bejan Barnes is on the beach and you can see the reflection of the beach out in front of him. That's what's going to be, bro. That's what's going to be for us. That day's coming. That day's coming for all of us. But big up. I'm going to do my best again to start doing these at 8 p.m. 8 or 7 p.m. British time. It'll be noon Pacific time or 3 o'clock Eastern time for those of America. I'm going to try to do a couple of broadcasts throughout the day if I can to be able to reach out and pass on this initiative. I got my man Redbird D9 working on this initiative too, to really bring on the believers, bring on this Mighty Red Believer campaign. So I'll be trying to do some episodes at some really weird times where I might not have people really tuning in, but I want to reach out to those to the Reds down under, that we have an amazing fan base down in Australia and New Zealand and those countries in the Southern Hemisphere. And also, want to reach out to obviously my European brethren Reds, and especially to all my American brethren, whether in Mexico, Central America, South America, in Canada, or in the islands, wherever you're at. Understand, Reds together, we're truly mighty, brothers. I'm gonna be out on that note. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Appreciate you guys being a part of it. And yeah, peace out.